Welcome back to another episode of Open Stride Podcast, ladies and gents. NBA preview. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is me and Faze, man. We went to the next team, and like I told you on the last episode, we are now in the top 10.
Top 10.
We in the top. These are the top 10 teams we think are in the NBA going into the 2021-22 season. This is about to get interesting, man. I want to know what all y'all think as y'all pay attention to these next 10 teams and how y'all feel like we did. Let us know. So the first team, the number 10 team, is actually going to be an Eastern Conference team. And if you've been following along, you know that's Faze territory. So Faze, it's all on you, man. Knock that out.
Next team is the Atlanta Hawks. And Matt made a comment saying I was hanging on their superstar during the playoffs, which I apologize that I was wrong about what I said at the time. So
what you said again? I can't remember.
I said that Benson was going to melt Ice Trae.
Okay.
Benson has melted himself.
Okay, yeah.
So
I just want people to know out there. I said Trae Young was the most exciting player in the NBA last playoffs.
He also said that Trae Young is better than Devin Booker.
He is. I still stand on that.
I'm just saying what you said.
He is. Well, don't get me started on that. I made a lot of enemies when I said that, so don't get me started on that. I don't mind diving into it, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and preview the team first.
Hold that. Do you know any Atlanta Hawks fan?
Oh yeah, I do. I know a couple. Atlanta's kind of like a culture team. Like in Atlanta, the Atlanta city is like a culture like a cultural multi-pot, and a lot of celebrities kind of drift towards the team only because they're good. They don't have a strong fan base overall. And when I say that, I mean people that support them even when they're bad. That's a strong fan base to me. And they don't really have that. But when they booming, when they popping, oh yeah, that's courtside. That courtside is crazy. It is crazy.
In the city, that's major.
Yeah, major city. So yeah, I know a decent amount of Atlanta fans. Shout out to y'all.
I do not. So I know none. Okay, so let's get started. Some key additions. They drafted Jalen Johnson and Sharif Cooper. They drafted them much later than they expected those players to even be available. Like Jalen Johnson was picked number 20, expected to be a top 15 pick initially, and then Sharif Cooper second round. What do you think about those two picks?
Sharif, I like it. So going into the draft, I was kind of indifferent about Sharif because I feel like he was getting overhyped a bit. I know I say overhyped a lot. I'm big on people getting overhyped because I just feel like I gotta be the one to be the mediator to bring people back down to ground to let you know that hey, he not that good, she not that good. Me and Faze literally just got into a debate because I said Brittany Griner is overhyped. It's whatever, man. I know that may get backlash, but it's cool. So Sharif, I think he'll be a good piece for them. He can learn a lot from Trae, undersized guard coming in. He was a high rated player coming out of high school. He actually played pretty good in college. So I was really surprised he dropped, especially as a freshman. He played really good. I thought he would have been a perfect fit for New York, but they decided to go a different route with another point guard. But yeah, man, I like Sharif overall.
It's interesting. He is short. He's tough. We'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. He showed promise in the NBA Summer League, and it's hard to say anything. We'll see. They did lose Chris Dunn and Bruno Fernando, which really aren't that big of losses for them. But they also added Gorgie Dang and Daylon Wright. Daylon Wright is projected to be the primary backup for Trae Young, which is actually a really good backup point guard. What do you think about those acquisitions that they signed and traded for, besides drafting?
I feel like they didn't really make that big of a move this offseason, only because they roster is so deep, man.
Yeah, it is.
When they was making that run in the playoffs, people was like kind of shocked at how deep their roster was. And not saying I'm just a fortune teller, but I always knew their roster was deep because I was paying attention to them because I like Trae. I'm a fan of Trae Young. Even before he became like super mainstream this past year, I was a fan of Trae coming out of high school. Coming out of college when he was at Oklahoma. And I was paying attention to moves they were making, the draft picks they was making. They was picking up a lot of good players in the draft. And then that last offseason, they signed a lot of players. And I was kind of shocked at some of the players they signed. I was like, dang, they gave him money. And it was just like, wow, they really stacking some players and it played off in the playoffs. So
You need those vets to kind of help propel them. So the people he's talking about at the time was Rajon Rondo, Bogdanovich, and Danilo Gallinari, who actually played big roles for them. Which actually adds,
Bondong played.
yeah,
Bondong, you should have a ring right now. I'm gonna let you know that. I know people don't talk about it. I know you chased the bag, and I ain't mad at that. You a young player. You had your first opportunity to get paid. You was sucking it up. I ain't gonna say you was sucking it up, but y'all was sucking it up as a team in Sacramento. You had the first opportunity to get the bag. The Bucks wanted you in the signing trade. You say I don't want to go there. I want to go to Atlanta, and you could have had a ring. You could have had a ring, but you decided to get your money. I'm not mad at that. But
good of
dang,
it that would have been next to those players. Like he would have fit like a glove.
imagine if they would have gave him the money too, though.
I know.
Dang, he could have had the money in a ring.
Yeah, he should have went to Milwaukee, but hey, he went to the city. Milwaukee's not that. They actually had a pretty busy offseason in terms of re-signing their key players. So Trae Young got a max contract, John Collins got a max contract, and Clint Capella signed a $46 million two-year $46 million extension. By max contract, Trae Young's actual contract is $172.55 million with possible incentives making him a 200 plus, and John Collins signed a 5-year $125 million contract. They're keeping their core together. Next up,
How you feel about them paying John?
it was gonna happen, so it doesn't surprise me. I mean, they went to the conference finals and they competed, so it's hard not to pay the people that helped get you there.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it alone. This
You've
is
been a John Collins person. You liked him.
hey, I'm not saying I don't, and I still like him, but this is me putting my GM hat on. So I wear a lot of hats, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I'm putting my GM hat on. Me as a GM for the Atlanta Hawks, I would have traded John Collins.
What would you ask for in return? What can compliment Trae like John?
Yeah, I I have to really look at the landscape of the whole situation, but in my opinion, I feel like he don't fit good next to Clint. And I feel like John is a better player than Clint, but Clint fits the Atlanta Hawks offense and defense better than John. He runs the floor. He gets alley hoops off the top of the rim. He catches putbacks and he plays defense. John is mainly like a score down low that can give you buckets. He's not gonna really somebody that can play defense like that. He's not gonna give you a lot of rebounds, but he's a scorer. So overall, I think John does more on the court than Clint, but I feel like Clint by itself would spread the floor more. If they was to go out and like trade John and get like a 3-and-D guy, somebody that can space the floor, let Clint do his thing in the paint and put all 4 of the other players out and let Trae Young dance on people, get to the goal and dish it to somebody if he maybe hit a 3, or he can just throw it up top and let Clint go get it. But with both of them down there, it's kind of hard to do stuff like that. But that's just me looking from afar how I think would have worked better.
So maybe the other solution could be trade Clint and get more traditional modern NBA big. Guess he's more of a throwback big. You're only saying that because
I'm not trading Clint. I'm not trading Clint.
That's why. And you didn't want to trade him. You didn't want to trade him. You don't want the Rockets to trade him. So now you gotta put the wish out somebody else.
Come on, man. I didn't want the Rockets to trade him. That's the truth. Yeah, I did not. I still want Clint in Houston, but that's not why I'm saying this.
I think he's a good player next time. They just have a deep team like from Trae Young, John Collins, Clint Capella, Bogdan, Sharif Cooper now, Gorgie Ding, Gallinari, Kevin Herter, who's a really good player, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, Lou Will, Daylon Wright. Like they have players that are going to be playing like roles on this team. So
they're going to have to start letting something go though. They're going to have to. There's no way they can keep them all. Like Cam did. He had like a small coming out party. It was more like a coming out dinner party. It was just like a small gathering. It wasn't like a big coming out party. So I feel like if he keep coming into his own, he go gauge entry for somebody, and somebody go want to give him some money. Atlanta's go look at that and be like,
"Someone's going to be gone out of their core."
Huh?
In your opinion, Cam is going to be the one that's going to be gone.
Oh yeah, I think Cam gonna be the one gone. I think Cam. So I think Horter could be gone only because he's not somebody they have to keep, in my opinion. I feel like him and Bogdan are interchangeable.
He's a player you kind of, but he's younger than him, and he's a player that complements Trae Young's game.
He that's very true. And if they can get him on the cheap, keep him. But I don't think they're gonna want to pay him and Bogdan both $80 million, in my opinion.
Okay, fair, because they already have a lot of money tied to Gallo and Bogdan. Okay,
exactly. So
fair point. I am excited to see what they do. I'm not gonna even discredit them anymore. They're a good team. So actually leads me to my ending hot take question. So going to the conference finals last year, confidence high, you know, you get playoff experience. Do you think that this team will make it to the conference finals in the East again?
Ooh, I don't.
What do you think their ceiling is?
Second round exit. Second round, tough round exit. That's what I give them. I feel like they'll sweep their first round opponent, and they'll get to the second round, and then they'll do more damage. They'll do damage to the team they play. They definitely put fear in the team they play hard, but I feel like whoever that team is going to pull off and beat them and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion.
Okay. So they're going to probably end up playing Brooklyn or Milwaukee in the second round, or maybe someone else, maybe Miami. Who knows?
Yeah. So yeah, we got them. I mean, based on what we have them around the top 5 in the Eastern Conference. So that means they'll get their 4 or 5 matchup. I feel like that'll be a tough matchup, but I feel like if they got a team like Miami, I feel like they can get Miami, in my opinion. I feel like they can get Miami. If they got a team like Boston, I feel like they can get Boston in the first one.
I don't know if they'll get Miami. We'll dive deep into that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got Miami ranked higher than them, but I feel like they can get Miami. Miami's an older team, but I feel like they can get Miami. But
Miami, you know what? Wait for the Miami episode. I'll dig deeper into that in the Miami's episode.
Yeah, so I feel like it's close. So, but when they get to the second round, if they got a team like the Bucks again, that'd be tough. I feel like Philly will catch them the next time. And
roster.
Yeah, I feel like Philly will catch them next time, and I feel like Brooklyn to beat them, even without Kyrie. I mean, who knows if you're gonna play or not? But I'm just saying, if it's Kyrie, if it's KD and Harden, or Kyrie and KD, I feel like they'll catch them. If it's Kyrie and Harden, I feel like anybody can catch Brooklyn. But if it's KD and anybody else, I feel like they'll beat them in like 5 because KD's just that good. So yeah, but yeah, that's my thoughts on them.
Okay.
So man, thank y'all for listening. That's the first team in the top 10. So now we're moving to my favorite number 9. So stay tuned for this next team. And I'll let you know now, it is a team that was just mentioned. Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.